In this video, I'll be giving you 5 daily habits to help you grow your business and achieve greater success. Hi, my name is Marriott from Instinct Education. We help business owners grow, and over the past 2 years, we've grown 2 companies from 0 to 7 figures, so over $1 million a year in revenue. And a big part of that has come from the different habits and routines that I've developed. And so in this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 things that you can optimize each and every day in your life to achieve greater results in your business long term. So the first area to optimize is your environment, and specifically your office environment. If you want to grow your business, you're going to have to spend quite a bit of time working. And if your office environment is not set up in a way that you actually enjoy working, then work is going to be a chore and you're not going to enjoy working each and every day. So what I would invite you to do is look at your office environment where you work and spend some time improving it and optimizing it. If you enjoy your office environment, you're going to look forward to working each day. And that means you're going to spend more time working on your business, and that's going to lead to greater results long term. So some ways in which you can optimize your environment is looking at the natural light in your office. I see a lot of people and their office is basically a small desk in a dark corner with an old computer that barely works, and doing something as simple as checking emails each day creates a lot of anxiety because it's a very bad environment. So instead, try to make an office environment that has a lot of natural light and is inviting. Another thing you can do is add some color. So plants or posters on the wall can be a great way to make your office something that you want to go into. Another thing you can consider is your tools. And so for an entrepreneur, the tools you use would be your computer, your keyboard, your monitor, and your mouse. If you have great tools, you're going to look forward to using them. When I started my office, I spent a lot of time looking at different keyboards and testing what mouse I wanted to use, different monitors and screens. And so now I really enjoy the tools that I use. I like typing on my keyboard, I like clicking on my mouse, and that means I'm more likely to do work. And so whilst this is an investment, investing in different tools, things like computers and laptops, it's one of the highest ROI investments you'll make because you use these things every single day. It's just like a handyman or a craftsman. They want good tools to do great work. And as a business owner or entrepreneur, you should have good tools because these are the things you'll be using each day. And you might be on your computer 6, 7, 8 hours a day. So having a computer environment, an office environment that you enjoy is going to give you a massive advantage to people who have uncomfortable office environments, because it means you're going to look forward to working. And that means by default, you're going to do more work each day, and that's going to move you forward. The second area to optimize is your efficiency. And this is one of the most powerful frameworks to understand. And most people don't really understand how time works and how it compounds over a year. So to give you an example, if you spend 6.5 minutes on something each day, if you do that every day, over a year, that equals 40 hours. 40 hours is your average work week. And so if you look at your daily routine and you look at the places that you're spending your time and you make small changes, you can gain extra weeks or extra months of efficiency each and every year. To give you an example of this, I recently increased my typing speed from 40 words a minute to 80 words a minute. And so what used to take me 60 minutes to type now takes me only 30 minutes. And so by doing that, I gained an extra 30 minutes of time each day. If I compound that over a year, that's an entire month of extra efficiency I have. And so that's just one small example of how you can increase your efficiency, and that will lead to you having more time to work on the things that move you forward. Some other areas you could consider are things like mental maths. As a business owner, it's very likely you'll do a lot of different calculations each day, probably dozens of calculations. And so I invested in a mental math tutor to help me do math quicker in my head. And by doing that, often I won't need to reach for the calculator. I can do the equation in my head, and that saves seconds each day. And you compound that over a year, and that's dozens of hours each year that I save just by learning mental math. Other areas could be things like your mouse speed. If you increase your mouse speed or even your computer speed, again, you're shaving seconds off each action you do, and that will compound. Another idea would be increasing your reading speed. If you could shave 10 seconds off the time it takes you to read a page and you read 20 pages a day, that's going to add up to dozens of hours each year. So these small efficiencies, if you can find them and you can improve them over a year, whilst it may not seem like much each day, over a year that will compound to massive returns. And by doing this, you can gain weeks or even months of additional time that others aren't spending on their business. And this is how you can get an unfair advantage over your competition. The third area to optimize are your decisions. So there have been a lot of different studies on what's called decision fatigue. Basically what it means is that each day you only have so many good decisions, and once you use up those decisions, your ability to make effective decisions declines. And so what most business owners do is they aren't aware of this and they spend most of their best decisions each day on things that don't really matter. Things like what they're going to have for breakfast or what they're going to wear. And when this happens, you reduce your mental bandwidth and you can't put as much focus and energy into the decisions that actually move you forward. So reducing or removing the decisions that aren't important means that when you have important decisions, you're able to make the most effective decision in that moment. So what decisions should you remove? Well, some of the biggest ones are things like food. If you think about it, most people, they wake up and they make a decision about what they're going to eat for breakfast. Then they eat breakfast and a few hours later, they make another decision about what they're going to eat for lunch. Then a few hours later, they do the same thing for dinner. And they do this every single day. And so they're spending a huge amount of mental energy on what they're going to eat each meal. Instead, what you can do is create a meal plan so that you don't need to decide each day what you eat. It's set, it's preset, and that way you just follow the plan. A thing I used to do was I would get meal deliveries to my house. And that means that I didn't need to think about what I was going to cook or when I was going to cook or driving to the shops and preparing food and all these decisions that come with food. I would just get pre-made meals directly to my house. Now I have my EA that actually just brings me food at my office, so I don't even need to think about when I eat. And so these are all ways to reduce the decisions that go into meals. Other decisions could be things like what you wear each day. So instead of deciding every single day, what am I going to wear? You can just buy the same shirt in different colors and wear the same shirt each day. Other things could be like meetings. If you're deciding when should you have meetings with your team, you could just set up an automatic meeting, and so you don't need to make that decision. So looking at your day and finding what decisions do I keep making over and over that I could automate or eliminate completely will mean that you have more mental bandwidth to put into the things that actually matter in your business. The fourth area to optimize is your sleep. So a lot of entrepreneurs think that the goal is to sleep as little as possible so that they can work longer. And I tried this. When I started out, I tried to work as much as possible and I reduced my sleep to about 3 or 4 hours a night. And whilst I had more time in the day, my output and efficiency was far worse than what it is now because I didn't have the focus and the energy to actually do effective work. And so now I have a very big and heavy focus on sleep quality and I try to get the best sleep possible. If you watched one of my other videos where I spoke about the different biohacking technologies I invested in, I found that after spending over $100,000 on different technologies to upgrade my brain, the most important thing was a good night's sleep. And so when you have a good sleep, you have more energy, you have more focus, you're actually more intelligent. And so skipping out on sleep is a big mistake. So what you can do to optimize your sleep is number one, create a sleep schedule. That means going to bed at the same time every night. And whilst that takes discipline, it means you'll be able to get to sleep quicker and your sleep quality will improve. Another thing you can do is optimize your sleep environment. So making sure your bedroom is dark. If there's natural light, that will wake you up. If it's hot, to get into deep sleep, your body temperature needs to drop. And so if your room's very hot, then it's going to take longer for you to get into deep sleep, which is very important. So you can use a fan, or if you can afford it, use an air conditioner so that your sleep environment is nice and cold. Another thing you can do is avoid blue light. So blue light is light that comes from electronic devices, so computers or phones. And blue light is the same light that the sun emits in the day. And so what happens is if you're looking at your phone or your computer late at night, your body thinks it's the middle of the day and it suppresses melatonin. And that means you can't fall asleep very effectively. So what I do is I leave my phone out of my room, and as soon as the sun goes down, I use blue light blocking glasses so I don't get any blue light after the sun goes down. Another thing you can do is track your sleep. So this is an Oura ring and it just goes on your finger and it tracks your sleep, and you can assess how good your sleep quality is each night. And by doing this, you can try different things. You can try eating dinner a bit earlier. You can try going for a walk before bed, and you can see how these things affect your sleep quality. And so by doing this, you get better sleep, you wake up with more energy and focus, and you're able to get more done each day. The fifth area to optimize is what I call calibration or goal setting. See, most people, when they set a goal, they set it once and then they forget about it. Instead, what we want to do is look at your goal each and every day, because looking at a goal or setting a goal is like typing a destination into a GPS. It's telling you where you're going, but if you're using a GPS and you're not looking at that thing, every single turn you make, you're probably going to end up in the wrong spot. So what most people do is they set a goal, and that's like typing a destination in their GPS, and then they throw their GPS out the window and start driving. You're not going to get where you want to go if you do that. So instead, what we want to do is set a goal and look at it each and every day and ask, is what I'm doing today mapping to the outcome or the destination I'm trying to get to? And by doing that, you can adjust what you do each day. You can adjust your daily actions to ensure that if I achieve this today, this is in fact mapping to my goal. To take this a step further, you can set a 12-month goal, and then from that, reverse engineer what a quarter goal or a 4-month goal would look like. Then from there, you can reverse engineer that into a 30-day goal. And from there, you can reverse engineer that into a 7-day goal or a week goal. And then each day you can break down your week goal into what to do each day. And by doing that, you ensure that what you do each day maps to what you're aiming to do this week, which maps to what you want to achieve this month, which leads to what you want to achieve this quarter, which leads to what you're trying to achieve this year. And if you do that, it makes it far more likely that you actually achieve your goals. So they are the 5 areas to optimize. Number 1 is your work environment. Number 2 is your efficiency. Number 3 is your decisions. Number 4 is your sleep. And number 5 is your calibration or goal setting. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. If you have any questions about anything we covered, leave a comment below. I check all the comments myself, and stay tuned for more videos like this.